مساء الخير والسعادة والجمال مشاهدي زوم أفريقيا، وحلقة خاصة جدا، تغطية خاصة لقمة المناخ ال28 اللي بتستضيفها مدينة دبي. فعاليات خاصة جدا هنكون مع حضراتكم عام كامل، كنا مع حضراتكم السنة اللي فاتت من مدينة شرم الشيخ، وفعاليات قمة المناخ ال27 عام عدى. عايزين نعرف مع حضراتكم في الحلقة دي ايه اللي تم وايه اللي حصل في الدول الأفريقية المختلفة في التأقلم. كتير من الفعاليات هنحضرها مع حضراتكم، خليكم معانا نبدأ حلقتنا وتغطية خاصة جدا لقمة المناخ الكوب 28. مشاهدينا، احنا لسه مع حضراتكم في مدينة دبي وفعاليات قمة المناخ ال28. هنشوف مع حضراتكم الدول الأفريقية المختلفة بتعمل ايه علشان تحارب تغير المناخ. بوتسوانا واحدة منهم. معايا دلوقتي لقاء مع سيادة الوزير لفوكو مواخي، هو وزير الطاقة والمعادن، هيكلمنا على دور الدولة في محاربة تغير المناخ. Welcome to our program, sir.
Thank you very much and good day to you.
Really, it's my pleasure to know more about Botswana, the great country, and also the role of the Ministry of Energy and Minerals in Cop28.
Thank you very much. Botswana is a land-linked country in the southern part of Africa.
Yeah.
And our main economy stay is through the exploitation of the vast mineral resources that we have.
Great.
Notably diamonds, copper, gold, coal, industrial minerals.
Yes.
And now we're beginning to find also critical minerals, energy minerals.
That's fine.
So it is important that as a signatory to the protocols like your Paris protocols, other protocols and the COPs that we've been attending.
Yes.
We also play our bit.
Yes.
In terms of what Botswana does and what Botswana wants to achieve.
Yes.
You know, there's a big debate around just energy transition.
Yeah.
Botswana generates its base load electricity through coal.
Yeah.
But now we've set up an integrated resource plan for electricity generation.
Yes.
Where we want to have a full mix of resources that we can exploit to generate electricity.
Yes.
Therefore, we've got a target to reach 30% renewables by 2030.
Okay, that's great.
You see, and it was coming from as low as between 1 and 2%.
Yes.
So this is happening through a number of renewable energy projects.
Yeah.
Your solar PVs, your wind energy, coal bed methane, and other sources.
Yes.
Yes. So those are the projects that we are currently exploiting. Just last week I was launching the commissioning of another megawatt. These are some of the smaller projects.
Yeah.
3 megawatt solar PV in one of the remote areas.
Yeah.
We've got quite a number of 100 megawatts PV solutions.
Yes.
Mostly planted at our mining sites.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure that our minerals are exploited in a green way.
Yeah.
So that is why we started with the mining areas, and it's proven to be really good for us in that way.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Remember that back in the day, in the 2000s, we had issues around blood diamonds and what have you that were seen in other countries. But Botswana has been very prudent in its management of resources. There hasn't been anything like child labor or wars to finance or being financed by our mineral exploitation.
Yes.
So that is why we are now keen to move into the renewable energy space as well.
Yes, it's very, very important.
Yes.
So back to the minerals.
Yes.
I want to promote that the investment opportunity in minerals in Botswana.
Yes, Botswana started off in 1966 when we took independence.
Yeah.
It was a very poor country.
Yeah.
Then we used our mineral exploitation to actually grow our economy into what now is a middle income economy. And now, with our aspiration on our vision 2036,
yes,
we want to move into a high-income economy.
Oh.
And to do that, we need to be exploiting what we have.
Yes.
And most of what we have is these mineral resources.
Yes. Like
so,
what?
We've got lots more diamonds, we've got copper and nickel,
Yeah.
we've got silver, we've got gold, we've got a lot more of the industrial minerals as well, and energy minerals like we've just found manganese, there's cobalt, and we hope to find lithium as well. So these are some of the minerals that we want to exploit. And we want to exploit through value chains as well.
Yes.
A lot of the times we are just taking out the primary mineral and then sending it offshore.
Yeah.
Now we want to build industries within the country so that we can create the much needed manufacturing industries for wealth creation, for employment opportunities, to grow our economy into that high income economy as we aspire in our 2036 vision.
Okay,
Yes.
and it's easy to go and invest in your country?
It is very easy because Botswana as a country is well known for its good governance, for the rule of law.
Yeah.
So it's a great destination for mining investment.
Yes.
Actually, in terms of the Fraser Institute, it has been ranking as #1 in Africa and in the top 10 in the world.
Yes.
For investment, the likelihood of investment, for the ease of doing business, and all those other good attributes.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm inviting Egypt and the rest of the Arab world
it's very important.
to come to Botswana and to invest in there. What we want to see is investment within the country.
Yes.
You've got, you are free to also repatriate your profits to your country.
Yeah.
So these are some of the incentives that you will get when you get to Botswana.
Yes.
Very low tax regimes. So there's a whole lot that you can, it can invite and excite investors coming from Egypt.
Yeah, okay. Really, thank you so much, Your Excellency Minister. Thank you.
Thank you.
مشاهدينا خليكم معانا، احنا لسه في دبي. مشاهدي زوم أفريقيا، احنا لسه مع حضراتكم في تغطية خاصة جدا لفعاليات قمة المناخ 28 اللي موجودة فعالياتها في مدينة دبي. احنا بنتجول في القارة الأفريقية المختلفة، هي الأكثر تضررا للتغيرات المناخية، التصحر والفيضانات، تغيير درجات الحرارة اللي بتأثر على الحيوانات والنباتات والطبيعة البشرية المختلفة. جهود من الدول الأفريقية المختلفة علشان تحاول تساعد في تخفيف الآثار الناجمة على تغير المناخ. احنا موجودين مع بروفيسور ماتوندي، هو من زيمبابوي، هيكلمنا على جهود دولة زيمبابوي في مكافحة التغيرات المناخية. Welcome to our program Zoom Africa.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure too.
Yes.
I want to talk about the effort Zimbabwe did to face the climate change.
Yeah. You know, climate change has had a devastating impact on our country.
Yeah.
It comes in many forms and shades: droughts, floods, but more importantly also aligned to events such as cyclones.
Yeah.
And for that we have had to bear the brunt of climate change.
Yes.
But we have not been sitting as a government and as a country. We have tried to address some of the things we are able to. For instance, through mainstreaming climate action into agriculture. We have developed a concept called From Woods into Kwasa.
Yeah.
It's basically a production system that focuses on using minimum levels of water and soil recalibration for crop production.
Yes.
And in the last 3-4 seasons, we have been food secure as a nation because of that program.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yes. So we've achieved food security to the extent that for some of the crops that we were not able to produce, like wheat for bread, for the first time in the last 2 years, we have been able to meet our sufficient requirements for wheat and able to export some of it.
Wow.
We are actually looking for export markets, and my understanding is that Egypt is one of the export markets that we are also targeting.
Yeah.
So in terms of achieving food security, which is the key intervention I think we are there. We've gotten that right. We want to spread that into other sectors, but to ensure sustainability, the issue around water security also matter to us.
Yes, very important, by the way.
And for that, our government has been investing in large dams across all the provinces in order to ensure that we are able to do irrigation activities in the country. So in the event of a climate crisis or poor seasonal performance, we are then able to revert to our irrigation system to ensure that we're able to produce crops at a minimum level to guarantee that food security. So in terms of climate action, there's an intimate relationship between nature and climate in terms of agroecology, in terms of our interventions. And I think we are getting something right there. Then the second issue relates, that's the adaptation part. But there's also the mitigation part. And for the mitigation, you know, energy is a basic requirement. And we are short of it. We acknowledge it. And for that, we've slowly been trying to take actions to avert the energy crisis through investing in hydroelectricity, for instance. 3-4 years ago, we launched the Kariba South, and now we are working on recalibrating the Kariba Main, but also planning ahead of Patoka Gorge and a variety of inland power producing water bodies. We are also putting them on board. We are also trying to add at least solar energy, the renewable energy, into that as well. And for that, we are expecting that probably we might be getting more than 1,000 megawatts if all our investments comes into place where we have renewable energy through solar-based systems. So that's something that we are trying to invest in. But that doesn't mean that it has been a smooth ride. No. There have been significant challenges in terms of financing, in terms of access to technology, in terms of high cost of some of the renewable.
Most of the African countries is like that. We can't afford.
And this is the reason why we are here at Cop28 to negotiate, to see how not just to lower the cost, but to have justice over climate finance. We need to have climate finance facilities that are accessible for us to offset the impact of climate change. And for that, we are hoping that these 2 weeks of negotiations will lead up to something that is tangible.
Since last year, the COP27. Now we are in a COP28. It's a year. Did you see any progress belong to the challenges that like finance and whatever?
I remember sitting very well with the presidents of COP27 last year in Egypt and negotiating from an African position and a Southern African position and our own position that we needed to have loss and damage as a non-negotiation. I'm happy that COP28 started off with an acknowledgement that it needs to be operationalized. But during the year, we need much more to be done. At the national level, we are allocating our national resources towards loss and damage because we are directly affected by climate impact.
Exactly.
And we developed a carbon credit framework so that we are able to market some of our credits, and part of the proceeds from the carbon credit revenue is allocated for loss and damage. For that, we are then able to intervene when it's necessary. When families have got homes that are destroyed, when there's deaths, when there's all these things that happen. So these are some of the actions that we are taking on our own to ensure that we are responding. And I'm happy that we've done during the year, but we expected to do more. We could have done more and better.
Now Zimbabwe are here in Dubai for a COP28, and there is a lot of negotiation and a lot of sessions. So can you highlight for me what Zimbabwe need exactly from COP28?
My hope is that the operationalization of the loss and damage fund be the number one priority. That secondly, we ensure that we put on the agenda agroecology, because it has never been on any COP agenda and sustained on as a decision. We need issues to do with climate finance, as I said, to be addressed. We can't keep on postponing it. We can't keep on waiting for 2025. We need it to be done now. We need issues to do with water security to start featuring into the COP discussion.
Yes.
I know it's a very difficult discussion from the last time because we ended up removing it from the main text because of words that were being used.
Yeah.
Some preferred the words water security, others preferred access to water because it's a major geopolitical issue in the Middle East and also Northern Africa in terms of how to address that in a conference of this nature.
Yes.
So for me, those are some of the key priority areas. And of course, investing in science and technology, I believe we talk about it often and every time, but we are not yet there.
Yes, it's the future.
Yes, it's the future.
Yeah.
We need to engage that. Then there's the global stock tech that we are now engaging. I'm not a popular fan of global stock taking because I think over the 28 years of negotiating for COP, we have been stock taking already. There's nothing new that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what additional
Yes.
facts we'll get other than knowing the various impacts of climate change. Look,
You're right.
in the US, wildfires in the US, high temperatures for the first time in 500 years.
Yes.
Look
yes.
at the fires in Spain, in Portugal. Look at the floods in Pakistan, in Southern Africa.
Yes.
The Durban, KwaZulu-Natal was underground. And all these things are happening. Look at the Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
You know, the disaster with caused by climate change.
Yeah.
The question is, we know the problems.
Yeah.
If we know the problems, we certainly must know the answers. We just simply have to act.
Yes.
And my hope is the loss and damage can be operationalized.
Yeah, we hope
and
so.
start working.
Yeah. Yeah.
During the presidency of UAE.
Yeah.
We tried last year under very difficult circumstances, but I'm hopeful that this time that we might get the matrix and optics together.
Yeah. Really, thank you so much, Professor.
No, thank you so much.
مشاهدينا خليكم معانا، احنا لسه في دبي في الكوب 28. مشاهدينا برنامج زوم أفريقيا مع حضراتكم بيحاول يلخص كل جهود للدول الأفريقية المختلفة لمحاربة تغير المناخ اللي بيأثر على كتير فعلا من وجود البشرية. احنا موجودين مع كوت ديفوار ومدام كوني، هي هتكلمنا على الأساسيين بتاعتها والجهود لمكافحة تغير المناخ. Welcome to our program Zoom Africa.
Okay. I should introduce myself.
Yes.
I am Alimata Kone from Cote d'Ivoire. I am the DF operational focal point. DF is the Global Environment Facility.
Great.
And the DF is the financial mechanism which is financing all the United Nations Convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the DF is financing the COP climate convention also.
Okay, so why you are here?
I'm here as the DF operation focal point and as Ivorian and as the representative of the GF in my country.
Yeah.
So during the COP meeting, we come and present, make a presentation, PowerPoint presentation of the GF to people, to participate, because the GF finance projects, micro project, medium-sized project, biggest project in all its member countries.
Okay, that's great. So you are from Ivory Coast, right?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of negotiation for the climate change. What's the effort of Cote d'Ivoire did to face the climate change?
Okay. One of the efforts, I'm a financial woman, one of the efforts is that Cote d'Ivoire is a donor country in the GF.
Okay.
So we are paying contribution as Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are paying contribution to the GF. This is one of the efforts.
Yes.
And we have signed the agreement, international agreement about climate change, about environment protection.
Yes.
So we are doing a lot in the area of environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you see from last year to this year, there is any progress to face the climate change all over the world? From 27 to 20.
The progress is in climate action.
Yeah.
For instance, in Cote d'Ivoire, from this time, we did not see so much sun.
Yeah.
Now the temperature have grown up.
Yes.
And it's becoming difficult for farmers to know the real period of farming.
Okay.
And Côte d'Ivoire, we are in the southwestern part of Africa.
Yes.
And we have a lot of forest. And we used to have a lot of raining period.
Yeah.
But now, in the raining period was usually in June. But now, we don't know any period.
Yeah.
It rains anytime. Mm-hmm. The weather is sunny all the time also. Mm-hmm. Things are mixed.
Yes.
That's the reality of climate change.
Yeah, and this is effect to the all the crops, for example, and the effect too for the animals and.
Yeah, because climate change is what we call transversal.
Yes.
Today we're talking about climate change, with biodiversity, with land degradation. Mm-hmm. So all of them are related. So talking about people, you're talking about animals, you're talking about plants.
Yes.
All of them are related.
Yeah.
So it is affecting human beings, it is affecting other beings too.
Okay. And you will be part of the negotiation, right? For all the negotiation and sessions here.
Right now, I don't know because I just arrived.
Yeah.
I have to participate in one of the negotiations.
Yes.
But as a representative of GF, we're talking now about climate finance. Yeah. So the GF is a trust fund. Mm-hmm. So anytime we have a COP, countries ask the GF to create a new fund. Yeah. So we have CBIT, which is a fund for building the capacity of African, because we don't know how to write projects. Yes. And there were recently at the COP of biodiversity, the international community has to create a fund. Yeah. So we have a new biodiversity trust fund, which has been created. Yes. So the GF is doing a lot as a global environment facility to protect environment.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam. مشاهدي زوم افريقيا، برحب بحضراتكم وتغطيه خاصه جدا من مدينه دبي والكوب 28. احنا كنا مع حضراتكم السنه اللي فاتت في مدينه شرم الشيخ، واللي كانت بتستضيف الكوب 27. عام كامل مر من 27 ل 28. هنشوف مع حضراتكم ايه اللي حصل في خلال سنه من توصيات المؤتمر المناخي وقمه المناخ اللي بتستضيف كل دول العالم علشان يناقشوا قضيه المناخ، قضيه خطيره جدا. والدول الافريقيه هي اكتر الدول المتضرره من تاثر المناخ، من تصحر وفيضانات كتير من التغير المناخي في درجات الحراره اللي بتاثر على كتير من الحياه البريه والحياه النباتيه والبشر. كمان معايا دلوقتي لقاء مهم جدا مع مستر جيري اسكندر، وهو من تنزانيا. تنزانيا بتبذل مجهود كبير جدا علشان تحارب قضيه تغير المناخ. Welcome to our program Zoom Africa.
Thank you.
Really, I'm very happy to have you in my show.
Thank you.
And we are here in Dubai for Cop28.
Sure.
Tanzania have a lot of effort to face the climate change, right?
Yeah.
So tell me briefly, what Tanzania do exactly?
Okay. As you said, Tanzania has a great effort in order to mitigate the climate change in the world. And one of the methods that the Tanzanian government is using to mitigate the climate change is the use of natural resources that are available in Tanzania. Yeah. We have enriched with gas, and the Tanzanian government, and the gas, as we all know, that gas is a clean source of energy. Yeah. And the Tanzanian government right now have different initiatives to make sure this natural resources, which this gas is well distributed in local people, and they to substitute the fuel from charcoal and coal to this gas. And we have seen most industries adopting to this. Using these gases, and some we have seen also some cars being renovated into from petrol to natural gas. So this is the effort that the government of Tanzania is having.
Okay, and also you have here with the big delegation in ahead of President Mama Samia Suluhu, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and she have a lot of presentation in Cop28.
Sure.
Yeah, tell me briefly what she will say.
The theme of this Cop28 is the use of clean energy.
Yeah.
That's the theme, and we hope that she will come and she will talk about how the world has to shift from the energy that is produces more carbon dioxide to the one that has less carbon dioxide in order to serve our world.
Yeah, it's very important. And Tanzania, the beautiful country, it's affected by climate change, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, now the humidity, and it's a lot of a changing for the degrees, right?
Sure. Yeah, in Tanzania, as you said, we experience the problems of climate change. As for us, we have some industries like seaweed farming industries, where we have right now we have more than 20,000 farmers, and which 8 of them are women. They are directly involving into seaweed farming, which is 100% dependent on the quality of environment.
Yeah.
And as the global temperature rises, this group of people, in which most of them are women, become prone on their livelihood.
Yeah.
So from this perspective, we want to announce to the world, we need more attention has to be given into climate issues, and more investment has to be done in climate issues, specifically in this Eastern African part of it, where Tanzania is located.
Yes.
And we welcome them, investors, to do more research in order to serve these underserved or underprivileged societies or underprivileged group of people in which they are women in coastal areas.
Yes, you're right. Mr. Jerry, you are from Zanzibar.
I'm from Tanzania.
Yeah,
I'm from Tanzania, but we are working also with, we have this company that is working with in Tanzania and Zanzibar, Mwani Marine Culture.
Yeah, Zanzibar, it's a beautiful city, well known in Egypt.
Yeah, okay.
Because most of them, they go for honeymoon there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we want to talk about the Zanzibar.
Oh, no problem, be free. Yeah, Zanzibar is a good island.
Yes. They call it like Maldives Africa.
Maldives of Africa, or Spice Island, okay?
Yeah.
So it's very beautiful. It has good beaches, it has good hotels, historical ones. When you go there, you'll have a clear picture of the past Arctic.
Wow.
Yeah, so the hotels are renovated. They are built without destroying the old buildings. So you will the physical appearance, outside physical appearance, that is like you are in the old Muscati. So it's a beautiful. So with a lot of hotels. There is one underwater hotels. Under room hotels.
Wow.
It's a beautiful, very beautiful people, beautiful nation, beautiful country. So it's very fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Jerry.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope I have delivered what you
great.
Thank you.
مشاهدي زوم افريقيا، خليكم معانا، احنا لسه في تغطية خاصة جدا للكوب 28. مشاهدي زوم افريقيا، مكملين مع حضراتكم تغطيتنا الخاصه لفعاليات قمه المناخ ال 28 دوله جامبيا، دوله افريقيه مهمه بتعمل دور كبير في مكافحه تغير المناخ. معايا دلوقتي لقاء مع مستر ابو بكر جالو من دوله جامبيا. Welcome to our program, Zoom Africa.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. We are here in Dubai for COP28.
Yes.
And Gambia make a very important role to face the climate change.
Yes.
So what exactly Gambia do?
Thank you very much. Well, Gambia, first of all, to give some context, is one of the 100 most vulnerable countries to the impacts of climate change.
Yeah.
We are a very small country, a population of 2 million, and we depend a lot on rainfall for agriculture.
Oh, yeah.
And over the past 10-15 years, we've observed that the amount of rainfall we're getting is getting less. Our country is very low-lying as well, so we're at risk of coastal erosion through sea level rise, etc. And a lot of the population, almost 70%, depend on agriculture.
Yes.
So you can see that the impacts of climate change are very serious. But nonetheless, as small as we are, we've been very ambitious.
Yes.
In 2015, we submitted our first NDC, which was critically acclaimed along with Morocco as being almost compatible with the Paris Agreement.
Yes.
But in 2021, we managed to be the only country in the world that had an NDC that was compatible with the Paris Agreement. Of course, some of the activities there are conditional on support from international parties, development partners that can support us to achieve this, because for African countries, adaptation to climate change is our priority. Because most people don't know, but the entire African continent only contributes 4% of emissions. The rest is from outside Africa. So, but of course, since it's a global problem, we also have to do our part to make sure that we are also ambitious, we reduce our emissions, and this encourages other countries around the world to be also ambitious. At COP here yesterday, we had some very good news in the sense, even in Sharm el-Sheikh, we were also there.
Yes, last
and
year.
we were very grateful to the Egyptian government and people for welcoming us. Very beautiful place. And there we started working on the mechanism for loss and damage. That has now been approved. Yesterday we had great news that countries have started pledging hundreds of millions of dollars to put into the pot for the loss and damage. Because adaptation has a limit. You cannot adapt to the extreme.
So right.
At some point people have to be compensated or supported with regards to getting their livelihoods on track and development back on the agenda. So that's one of the best news we've had for a while. We're also looking to see how we can have, because this year we're looking at the global stocktake. What has been done so far, what emissions, which countries is being ambitious, what has been done, because we need to know with all the agreements we have, are people actually implementing it, and is it enough to achieve the 1.5 degree target. So the global stocktake this year will be looking at means of implementation, which includes finance. We'll be looking at adaptation as well as mitigation in detail. Of course, finance is important. Everything is revolves around.
It's a priority number one.
Even at home or whatever, wherever you have finance is important. So much less at the global level. So we're trying to see how can we accelerate getting more access to finance, especially for vulnerable countries and vulnerable communities. So these are some of the areas that we've been working on.
So Gambia here for the Cop28. And there is a lot of negotiation and sessions. So can you highlight me what's the proposal will you make it by Gambia?
In the negotiation?
Yes, in the negotiation.
I think I'll start with finance. With finance, we've previously been promised 100 billion. And the countries that have promised this are sort of, I don't want to say backtracking, but that has been 15 years ago. A poor example again is the Ukraine war. They've already spent 100 billion on that in 1 year. So, and climate change is more important because it's everybody's problem. I think this should change from, rather than spending money on things that are destructive, but spending things on things that are creative. And so we're going to advocate for having more finance and to have a bigger ambitious level beyond that 100 million. But another thing is to define what is climate finance. A lot of countries tend to say, even if they give you, they support you to build a road, they say that's climate finance. Or a coffee shop. There was an example where a coffee shop was built in a country and they said that's climate finance. So it's become difficult to get what you actually need. So I think we need to be specific that this and this is what is covered by climate finance, and then now countries can be more accountable. And with regards to adaptation, because mitigation, we've always had targets. We had the NDC and etc. So, and always it's easier to get funding for mitigation. But now we're trying to have a target for adaptation. For each country and for the globe, for the world as well, so that we know that this is what we want to achieve with regards to adaptation, and we can work towards that gradually, so that we can achieve our goals. Capacity building is also important because, as you know, there are new mechanisms coming up, there are new methodologies, and we need to be able to understand and speak the same language, so that even access to this fund, like the loss and damage fund, how do we access that fund? Do we need to prepare a proposal? How do you apply? What criteria do you need? So all of this needs to be clearly outlined, and we need to have the capacity to be able to do this, because a lot of times we've seen other funds like the Green Climate Fund was created, but sometimes countries like the Gambia might not be able to benefit so much. Although as a country we've managed to get, I think, about 50-60 million from the Green, which we are grateful for, but it could be much more. So I think we'll be working around that. We have a very strong negotiation team. Some of our elderly negotiators have been part of the process since 1994. We have younger ones, middle ones like myself, and then we have even younger ones who we're trying to bring up to make sure that they get involved in various aspects of negotiation so that we can continue, because the Gambia has a lot of respect when it comes to climate change, because we've been very ambitious. At some point we were also the chairperson of the LDC group through my former minister Pausman Jaju. So we want to keep that flag flying very high, because a lot of people look towards us to see what is Gambia doing and what can we do to emulate that.
Okay, belong to the clean energy, green energy. There is a lot of projects in Gambia belong to the renewable energy.
Yes, in fact, we have a Renewable Energy Act, which identifies a target of by 2030 to have 30% renewable, 15% solar, 15% wind. We are working towards that. We currently have quite a few projects that we have a NAMA project approval of I think 15 million for 2 solar stations, solar power plants of 10 megawatts. We also have another hybrid solar PV station in an area called Jambur. And so definitely we're working towards it, because it's in our advantage. We have a lot of sunlight. Africa, same with Egypt, we have a lot of sunlight. So it doesn't make sense for us to be importing fossil fuels, which cost dollars, and it's difficult to transport. It has negative impacts. So we need to, I think, to play to our strengths. So the country is working towards that. We have the policies in place, so now it's just a matter of getting the adequate funding to be able to do this properly.
Really, thank you so much for your information, and really appreciate you're here in Cop28.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
شكرا. Yes. Okay, thank you.
مشاهدي زوم أفريقيا، للأسف خلصت حلقتنا النهاردة. كنا مع حضراتكم في تغطية خاصة جدا لقمة المناخ ال28 اللي استضافها مدينة دبي. فعاليات كتيرة جدا، والدول الأفريقية بأكملها جاية بطلبات وأحلام علشان مكافحة تغير المناخ. استنونا الحلقة الجاية زوم أفريقيا كل يوم خميس الساعة 6 مساء، هنشوف قارتنا عن قرب.